Hi everybody, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology. I'm also known as D. Fernandez. I'm a Western astrologer, a psychic, a tarot reader rather, a past life regression practitioner, and a life coach. And today we're going to talk about something very exciting. This is the Uranus transit through Gemini, which will be there for about 7 years. So what does Uranus mean? Uranus means change, and Gemini is a sign of the mind, the intellect. This is about conversations, decisions, what we like to study, what we like to read. Gemini is a very social sign. It is a mutable sign, very adaptive. And it represents children. It represents learning and education, and also siblings, neighbors, the local community, short distance travel. And so today, on July 8th, we have Uranus is at 0 degrees in Gemini and will be moved back into Taurus on November the 8th until April 26th of next year. So where it will stay until May 22nd of 2032 for a nearly 7-year transit. All right. And so Uranus hasn't been in Gemini since 1941 through 1948, really. And there's been a lot going on, or there was a lot going on at that time. So in 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor here in the United States, and World War II finally ended in 1945. This is all going on while Uranus was in Gemini. And so Uranus rules Aquarius, and Uranus can be the world at large, the world community. It represents the future, unexpected change, surprises, shocking events, social unrest, instability, and innovation. Uranus is technology. It can be breakthroughs, disruptions, and inventions. It means unpredictability, and Uranus and Gemini will bring changes to social media, transportation, and education. Uranus is also the rebel. We're going to see revolutionary ideas coming to the forefront. In the tarot, Uranus is associated with the Tower, and the Tower has to do with unexpected change, powerful realizations that really come by way of our mind, especially in Gemini. All right, and when the Tower comes in, things will never be the same. So this 7 years is going to change society in some way. And Uranus can have us questioning the rules, the establishment, and our own perspective. Artificial intelligence may also be questioned, and in some cases downright rejected in one way or another. Uranus and Gemini will bring new ways of information processing, new technology, new computers, new cars, and changes in transportation. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, also rules business and commerce, so there may be new ways of doing business. There can be family instability, or the idea of family, especially children, can change. And when I say artificial intelligence may be downright rejected, it will at least be questioned. When Uranus moves into Gemini, everything can be questioned. So we're going to see new ways of learning and teaching, or other types of changes in education. Uranus can bring disruptive social events. Gemini is a social sign, as I mentioned earlier, and Gemini is the sign of the mind, so there can be new ways of organizing, processing information, and communication. Decisions that bring social change and unpredictability. That is part of Uranus in Gemini. And Uranus in Gemini can cause people to think differently, leaving out outdated ways of thinking. Societal goals can change as well. Gemini represents our mind, our thoughts, ideas, conversations, studying, as mentioned earlier, and our intellectual pursuits. It's a mutable sign. It's adaptable to change and innovation. So Gemini Uranus likes being in Gemini because they're both, Uranus represents Aquarius, the 11th house, and this is an air element, as is Gemini. Gemini wants to know about everything. It's curious and intelligent. And so therefore, we're going to see some new inventions. So in the chart, we have the vertex conjoining Uranus and there can be fated events rooted in freedom and rebellion. Things we felt were stable and predictable can unexpectedly change. We have Uranus opposing the anti-vertex, which poses the question, are we willing to leave the predictable, the known, for the unknown? Especially with the idea of innovation and improvement. Uranus will be trining Pluto, and this is a harmonious aspect that brings transformation. There could be several changes in society that can occur overnight during the course of this 7-year transit. And Venus is conjoining Uranus at 3 degrees, causing us to look at relationships differently, perhaps, where we may feel we need more freedom and independence. Unconventional relationships will be highlighted as perhaps societal, or even local changes in the community can influence us to adapt to more unconventional attitudes. This energy will last until about July 13th, the Venus-Uranus conjunction. And Venus is aspected very favorably, making a trine to Pluto and a sextile to Saturn and Neptune. Trines bring in ease. They can happen very quickly, and they can remove obstacles, creating a flow. And sextiles are opportunities. Sometimes they are opportunities that we don't see, or we're not able to take advantage of them. Our self-worth can improve during this sextile with Saturn and Neptune, and the trine with Uranus and Pluto, with Venus and Pluto rather, helping us to improve our self-esteem and our self-worth if we're able to adapt to change. So we can become more powerful, more confident with Venus conjunct Uranus, but Uranus asks us to embrace our own uniqueness, our authenticity, and to be authentic, as I said, with who we truly are. There's an opportunity to move forward with creative solutions if we have the courage to trust ourselves and accept that no progress is ever made without a sacrifice or some level of disruption or instability. So let's talk about the 12 signs. And remember, or you may need this information, when we're looking at the horoscopes, the most resonating will be the rising or the ascendant sign. The second will be the sun. And lastly will be the moon. So for Aries, sun, moon, and rising, right? I like to say rising, sun, and moon, but it's kind of a mouthful. But for you, Aries, there's something new in the works for you. You may have revolutionary ideas, perhaps eccentric or even unconventional, and these ideas can be related to how you earn your money or relationships. You may have unique ideas on how to make money or improve your finances, and Mars, your ruling planet, will be in Virgo. Together, it is in Virgo with the south node of the past. There's something you're learning, Aries, or leaving behind that can help you to improve your daily life. You can earn more money as you assert yourself with courage and drive. And Aries is a courageous sign, but with Uranus in the mix, we may be facing courage that it kind of catches us off guard. Like, whoa, I have to, I kind of have to raise the bar and, and tackle this, or not even tackle, but move into it with courage. And so there's a trine for you, Aries, and you can meet someone under unstable or unconventional conditions, or maybe through change. Something can just change for you, and maybe you'll change work for example, and you may meet somebody very unexpectedly. And so, you could meet somebody through a group of friends, and that might feel very fated. Mars is in your house of daily routine, so take the initiative to organize your daily routine, or to exercise, or to improve conditions at work to earn more money if you feel the need. So for Taurus, the Uranus event is happening in your second house of earned income, possessions, values, and self-esteem. On July 5th, Venus entered Gemini, and Venus has conjoined Uranus, influencing and potentially shaking up this area of your life. The second house is key, Taurus, because you are the natural ruler of this house. Mercury is the ruler of your second and your fifth houses, and Virgo is in your fifth. So Uranus can and will most likely bring unexpected change and instability to these areas of your life, but Uranus can bring welcome change. Sometimes we need the courage to go along with it, right? To embrace it. And so you might not feel ready for it, but alternatively, it can help you to improve or innovate parts of your life that you may not want to engage in as Taurus, or that you may not want to confront or adjust to, possibly, as Taurus is a slower energy and Taurus wants to take its time. Uranus is speed, where events can happen overnight, and this also influences your house of romance, fun, and creativity. This is also the house of your recreational activities and entertainment. This is about sports as well, that fifth house. As mentioned above, you might experience this transit as disruption, Taurus, but Uranus can also help to bring in much needed change, right? Sometimes the change that we are ourselves fearful to embrace, right? Or to create, potentially. And so you might experience sudden changes in income or unexpected windfalls with money or romance. And this can challenge traditional ideas about wealth or even how you earn your money. This can cause a reevaluation of how you approach finances and your well-being that are connected to your financial well-being. Right. And this can lead you to a reassessment about what's truly valued. You could unexpectedly meet someone, Taurus, or find yourself surprisingly attracted to someone, or you may become attracted to unconventional relationships. Excuse me, guys. And this can play out where you feel somewhat rebellious about relationships, where you're bored perhaps by traditional norms and seek out excitement or a new type of relationship. You could suddenly feel a change about your feelings towards someone. Also, you might get a new computer or start using new or different technology or AI perhaps to help you earn money. And you may have to start using a new software program that's more innovative. And so for Gemini, this is significant for you, Gemini, because Uranus is in your house, your first house, or your sign. And Uranus will be shaking up that house of self, meaning that you're going to experience personal changes over the next 8 years or 7 years. This will also depend on your own natal chart. All the horoscopes will, really. And this can affect your communication style, Gemini, suggesting a dynamic and unpredictable personality can emerge over the duration of this transit or overnight, right? And you're going to feel a strong desire for freedom and personal authenticity. Also, you might be able to, like, it's possible that you're going to come into this energy where you feel like you're understanding things faster. That can also be. You might be really inventive with your work, or if you're a podcaster, or something like that, or where you are communicating in some way, even a writer. Maybe your work may become much more inventive, and you're able to do things possibly faster because Uranus will bring in speed, and Gemini is also it's a little bit of a fast energy. It's not a fire sign, but it's this air energy where Gemini can get bored quickly. So it is a faster energy. You're going to feel a strong desire, I think, as I mentioned, for freedom and personal authenticity. And you might develop a unique and innovative way of expressing yourself. And this is what I was saying. And this can lead people to see you as true to yourself and very authentic, right? This is a very inventive energy, and this is what I was getting to. If you're a writer, communicator, podcaster, or creator, you're going to be able to come up with unique ideas. Breakthroughs can come to you, Gemini, during this transit, during this 7-year transit. And your relationships may be more unconventional as you become more unafraid to be really who you are. And you may have a need for freedom and independence within those relationships. You're going to be drawn to new ideas, new technologies, and new ways of thinking. You may become more interested in devices and AI perhaps, right? Or technology. On July 18th, your ruling planet Mercury will sextile Venus. There's some type of opportunity for you around this time. If you're able to take advantage of it, or if you're able to see it, that will be something favorable for you. And one way of seeing this, Gemini, is that you're able to connect with partners easier and with more skill, initiating conversations and intelligent ways to communicate. Be careful not to be too showy, Gemini, or boastful or even arrogant, as Mercury, your ruling planet, is in Leo. And sometimes Leo can get a little carried away or too strong. Remember, Leo rules the sun. All right. Overall, it's going to be very good for you, Gemini. You may experience some ups and downs or instability that will manifest in some way, but ultimately innovation and improvement. You may see that definitely over the next 7 years. And your relationships with siblings, Gemini, those can change profoundly, or how you interact with them. You might become more forward thinking and innovative in your neighborhood, possibly, or in your local community during this transit. All right, let's look at Cancer. This is happening in your house of intuition, the visionary, the healer, and the compassionate one, creativity, closure, escapism, and mystery, to name a few. This is in your most mysterious house. And on the downside, every sign has one, every house has one, or has a couple. This is also your house of illness, vices and addictions, doubts and fears, and the hidden. Your intuition, Cancer, will likely improve over the course of the transit. And interesting how it's in Gemini. Yes, you might be really interested in the occult. You might be interested in studying astrology. You could, which can lead to this transit, though, could lead you to revolutionary ideas, breakthroughs, or ideas for healing. You're going to be more sensitive to subtle energies. You could experience profound transformation during this time. And rest and downtime for your mental health will be significant over the next 7 years, as this house is associated with rest and downtime, self-care. All right. Your communication style can become more compassionate and even empathic, as this is already a big part of who you are, Cancer. You may become a better listener. You're likely to experience awakenings, or at least one major awakening, leading to profound transformation. The way you process information can change, and this can lead to self-study and withdrawal. Revolutionary and innovative ideas can show up suddenly, and you may find yourself more focused on the subconscious or the unconscious and the hidden aspects of life. As I was saying, astrology is one of those, right? It doesn't have to be astrology, no. On the 10th, the full moon in Capricorn will take place in your house of relationships, opposing your sign. This opposition will help you to create balance within relationships and your career. If you're retired, Cancer, or let's say independently wealthy, this will be about your place in the world or your social status, your reputation, how you want people to see you, and or your legacy. All right. So let's talk about Leo. And Uranus is moving into your house of gains. Uranus loves this house because this is the natural house of Uranus, the 11th house. So Uranus is moving into your 11th house of gains, innovation, and technology. And this is also your house of the future and social groups, friendships, clubs, affiliations, things like that. Uranus will be shaking up its own house, really, so you could likely feel much change or several changes over the next 7 years. Your ruling planet, the sun, is in your 12th house of the unconscious, so you'll find clarity, most likely about your hopes and wishes for the future. You're going to experience erratic change within your social groups, even with friends, perhaps. Old friendships can fade away as you may have a whole new perspective on them, Leo. And you might be drawn to friends or social networks that are more innovative, intelligent, and forward-thinking. And this can also mean the people you identify with, right? Clubs, social groups, and the like. Those, they may become unconventional, ones that break traditional boundaries. You might experience this as becoming more drawn and open to diverse perspectives and progressive ideals. Some of you will become involved in fighting a good cause with intelligent insight, ideas, and methods. And this can be an exciting period of social connections with those you feel more aligned with. All right, so for Virgo, rising, sun, and the moon in that order. This is happening in your house of career, social status, and public life. Okay, so this is also your house of bosses, leaders, and higher ups and father figures. There's going to be a lot of change for you, Virgo, either in your career or your public life. It can be related to your social status, which can be I'm married, I'm not married, things like that. And this can be significant in how others see you. They could be seeing you quite differently. Your social status can change, as I said, and your ruling planet Mercury is in your house of intuition, mystery, and closure. It's in Leo, Virgo. You might gain a profound understanding of hidden aspects as they relate to relationships and your own self-expression. It can talk about your work. Some of you may be leaving relationships that no longer work or appeal to who you are, like during this transit, because everybody will experience some type of change that will not go back. It's change to stay. That's what it's about. Uranus is shaking up your house of social status, as I mentioned, and Mars is in your first house of self, giving you all the desire and the courage to lead your life the way you truly want. The South Node is allowing you to leave things in the past that no longer serve you or hinder you in some way. And Uranus will bring change and intelligent ideas, Leo, that Virgo, I beg your pardon, intelligent ideas that relate to your public life. And this can have an effect on your own fatherhood and is how you approach that. Mercury is very significant for you, Virgo, as Uranus is in Gemini, the sign under Uranus, right? Both you and Gemini shared Mercury as the ruling planet. And on July 18th, Mercury will sextile Venus in your house of career and social status, as Venus is conjoined with Uranus. This can be a really good luck kind of opportunity for you. It may be about love. It can be about the good things in life, kind of. Venus is about possessions as well. Finances, it's also about love. And this sextile is an opportunity that will support self-expression and how you look at romance in your place of the world and your place of the world, either career or social status. Your life can dramatically change over the next 7 years, Virgo, and perhaps as may you never thought it would, right? Yeah. And Libra, for you, excuse me, this is in your house of faith and beliefs, spirituality, higher learning, and long distance travel. This is your house of philosophy as well, wisdom, expansion, and good luck. So many of you, Libra, are going to be questioning your beliefs, your faith, your philosophy, perhaps, and this suggests an intellectual awakening. Whether you're questioning the norms in your life as these norms or your view on what's been normal up until now is changing, perhaps radically. Your worldview will most likely change, and this transit can bring about new ideas. The way you process information or communicate with others can change. This also indicates unconventional views and a desire for freedom of thoughts or beliefs. On July 5th, Venus, your ruling planet, will enter Gemini and conjoin Uranus. A conjunction is when we have two planets that are really supporting each other for the most part. You may be seeking out new relationships with people who share your beliefs, or you could be seeking out intelligent types. You may become more aligned or feel comfortable in an unconventional setting or an unconventional relationship. You may want to travel more, Libra, or even seek out those who want to travel with you. And for those who are single, you could be more attracted to people and relationships that offer freedom and independence. Also, relationships that foster growth, learning, and wisdom. In a sense, some of you will feel a rebellion to the old ways of thinking and even spiritual beliefs. Venus also rules your house, your first house of self. So this conjunction with Uranus is quite significant. And Venus also rules your house of intimate relationships, regeneration, shared resources, and the unconscious mind. This is also the house of taboo and secrets, right? And sex. It is. So this again suggests this has a lot to do with your relationships going forward. Uranus rules your house of love, self-expression, and creativity. So this is again speaking about your self-expression, how you speak to the world, your view of the world, and how you relate to the partners and the world at large. And you may be creating new artwork during this whole 7-year transit. Your art, whatever art you are, you do, it doesn't have to be painting pictures, but whatever you're creating, that could change your style, your whole perspective on your artwork or your your creativity. That could completely change. All right. So let's talk about Scorpio. And Scorpio, this is in your house of intimate relationships, shared resources, the unconscious mind, and all that is hidden in the psyche and in the material world as well. So this house is associated with real estate and other people's money, 401ks, mutual funds, those type of things, money from joint ventures and inheritances, to name a few. Uranus in this house is very disruptive but powerful. And so the way you view intimate relationships, Scorpio, will change, especially with your attitude towards shared finances, shared resources. You'll be able to handle this area of your life with a feeling of authenticity and independence. And you can learn about an inheritance or potential windfall in something you invest in suddenly. You're going to become more powerful, Scorpio, more powerful and innovative within relationships and how you communicate with partners. Uranus rules your house of home and family and emotional stability. Wow, that's interesting. And your ruling planet Pluto is in that house of Aquarius. This is going to be a period of major change. And this can and most likely will result and powerful decisions, innovative ideas regarding money or your close relationships. Uranus is also trining your ruler Pluto. A trine is it's a transit. It's an aspect rather that creates an ease or a flow for things to happen. It removes obstacles as well. And a trine is fast energy too. So this is very interesting. Uranus is trining your Pluto as well, that is your ruling planet, making this transition as easy as it can be, removing obstacles that stood in your way before the transit. So Mars, your ancient ruler, is in your house of gains, the future, social networks, technology, and innovation. And this is very much connected to this transit. It is, as this is in your 11th house, which is associated with Uranus. It's conjoining the South Node to your ancient ruler, helping you to easily leave behind whatever no longer supports you. Okay, for Sagittarius, and this is happening in your house of relationships. This is the house of openness, openness to others, relating to others, also open enemies and opponents, and legalities. You can unexpectedly meet somebody, Sagittarius, or change the way you interact and communicate in an ongoing relationship or moving forward. Venus, the natural ruler of this house, is in Gemini. And so Venus is conjoining Uranus, and this is supporting your relationships in general, an existing one or one to come. There's a change for you, and this can be that you're stepping into your true self, your authenticity, and that's how you drive your relationships moving forward. Sounds so great, right? You're being your true self and not apologizing for it. You're going to be more comfortable in your own skin, Sagittarius, in your relationships, business, romantic, or otherwise. Uranus rules your house of communication, ideas, plans, and goals, learning, siblings, and short distance travel. Interesting. No wonder, Sagittarius can be impulsive with their ideas because Uranus rules that house, right? Yeah, Pluto is in that house supporting you, regenerating this area of your life and helping you to be more powerful. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in your house of intimate relationships in a close conjunction with the vertex. So the vertex can be about a fated event. That is usually favorable, but Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in your house of intimate relationships in a close conjunction with this vertex. So you could be meeting someone quickly, as I mentioned at the beginning of your horoscope here. But this could be fated. And you may be able to build financially with that person. This is in your house of sex and secrets, the house of finances, shared resources. Your sex life can improve dramatically. And so here we have your money can improve, Sagittarius, because Venus rules your house of work, health, and daily obligations. And in Libra, your house of gains, innovation, and the future. All right, so let's look at Capricorn now. And this is in your house of everyday obligations, health, and work. This is also the house of pets, and Uranus rules your house of earned income, Capricorn. Uranus rules your house of earned income, and Pluto is in this house, bringing intensity and ultimately regeneration and power to your well-being for your finances. There could be endings there for you. There could be, with Pluto in this house, there could. But with Uranus happening in your sixth house of work, there's going to be change for you, I believe, during the next 7 years. All right. But Pluto, in this house will bring intensity, I believe, endings possible, transformation, and it can be ultimately regeneration and power to your well-being for your finances. On July 13th, your ruling planet Saturn, Capricorn, goes retrograde in Aries until August 31st. Then it will move back into Pisces until November 27th. And there's a sextile, which is an opportunity with Saturn and Uranus. So this is an opportunity, that is associated with your work or your income. Your values and beliefs will likely change, Capricorn, as they are related at how they relate to your financial well-being. Right? Potentially encouraging you, pushing you to make changes that relate to your work and how that affects your daily routine or your obligations. There can be a restructuring with work and family and how they coincide. This sextile is offering up new, unconventional ideas that maybe you wouldn't ordinarily consider. This is a big deal because Pisces is asking us to let go of something as Saturn moves back into Pisces, and Saturn going direct, moving again into Aries, is asking us to begin, to start all over, to encourage new undertakings and new beginnings. There is a trine as well that is significant for you as Uranus is trining Pluto in this house ruled by Uranus. So this trines make things easier. And they can create change quickly. They can, but it's really about a flow for you that makes things easier for you, really. So you are the one kind of creating the change with a trine or bringing in something beautiful for yourself. But it is a very favorable aspect that supports you. And so a trine will make things easier. As I said, this can happen quickly as trines are by nature a kind of a fast aspect. They definitely can be, but that trine will be there for 3 years. Wow. Shifting how you approach work, finances, your values, and everyday obligations and routine. And your approach to health can change, Capricorn, utilizing fresh, unconventional ideas. You could be working in a sector or field that is completely different to what you are doing now and feeling more liberated and more true to yourself and what you really value. And so Venus as well is supporting your financial well-being up until, around July 13th, right? But it looks really good for you, Capricorn, this transit affecting you for all of us, really, for the next 7 years. So let's talk about Aquarius. And Aquarius, this is your transit, really, because Uranus is your ruling planet. And so Uranus is in another air sign, so you're going to feel this over the next seven years. Your self-expression and how you communicate to the world within those social networks with partners or friends and even children and extended family can change. Your creative expression, your interest in hobbies and recreational activities will likely change as well. The way you enjoy yourself and have fun will likely be different, at least on some level. And Uranus is trining Pluto in your sign, Aquarius, allowing change and new perspectives to change you. And so there's a more mature approach to communication, decisions, plans, and goals because of a likely change that has to do with your self-expression. And there's an overcoming of communication issues related to challenges from childhood for some of you. Uranus will also trine Pluto. There's an easiness and a flow to regenerate all things related to personal power and how you assert yourself in the world. Big changes for you, Aquarius, as Uranus shakes up your house of self-expression, romance, and fun. So let's look at Pisces. And so for Pisces, Uranus will be in your house of home and family. This is also the house of your emotional mind, what makes you feel safe and stable, excuse me, emotionally well. So your whole idea about home and family can change, Pisces. You can become more innovative and inventive with choices and attitudes about what family or even what emotional stability means to you. You could move a lot possibly during this transit, and you will probably receive a lot of intuitive downloads. There could be a major growth bringing emotional evolution to you, and you can and will likely experience unexpected change or instability that will likely result in breakthroughs. And so Jupiter, your ancient ruler, is in your house of self-expression, where it's very much supported, as Jupiter loves being in Cancer. Yeah, and this as well will support emotional stability, feelings and attitudes about family. And that will be there. Jupiter will be there until next May or June. But not exact. I feel like it's the end of May. But Uranus, when Gemini, when the sun moves into Gemini, pretty sure. And so Uranus will sextile your natal Neptune, and this can add a flow to those changes of attitudes and values with home and family, and even how you earn your money moving forward, Pisces. Neptune is in your house of finances, values, and self-esteem. And so that is being supported in a sextile with Pluto. That sextile will remain there for a long time because both Neptune and Pluto are, slow-moving planets. And the sextile is an opportunity for you, allowing regeneration and an opportunity to let go of things that no longer serve you, Pisces. There's an emotional maturity helping to support you with Uranus and the changes it brings. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here. If you'd like to see my tarot readings, you can go to Power and Light Tarot. Please like, share, and subscribe. It does help me to keep bringing these videos forward. And it helps me to reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. And I hope this was helpful.